We have Lucy calling in from Texas. Lucy, you are live on Truth Wanted. Welcome to the broadcast.
Thanks so much for having me, y'all. How you doing?
Doing fantastic. Love getting some calls in tonight. So what do you got for us?
Well, I want to talk about the intersectionality between Catholicism, rural Newfoundland, and ghosts. I want to talk ghosts.
That is the first time I've heard that sentence uttered by a human being. And I'm all for it. So tell me about that intersection, because I have no idea where you're going with this.
Killer. So I have your attention then. Fantastic. Love it.
Yes, 100%.
So I just got back from a trip with my family up to Belle Island, Newfoundland, which is one of the most, actually the most, haunted island in North America. It's had
Sick.
6 documentaries made about it.
So Lucy, I'm sorry to interrupt you so early into, how do they measure that? Is it just like how many stories, or do they have like a meter?
So I feel like that's going to be part of it.
Okay,
is the stories for sure.
All right, I'll let you get to it.
But I do think, oh no, that's okay. Yeah, so they have psychics come in and tell them that they feel something.
That's what it is.
They feel a presence.
So it's kind of like in science, you get a consensus amongst your peers. That's how we know climate change is real, because of all the climate scientists. If you get a consensus amongst psychics, it's kind of like, yeah, this is the most haunted place.
If someone could do that, that'd actually be very impressive.
Yeah,
that's a reality show that needs to happen, I feel like.
We just thought with people with like extrasensory perception, and they'd have a consensus before they even got there. They just know.
Right.
Anyway.
All right. Anyway, Lucy, go ahead, please.
Good point, Jamie. Yes. So I think that, and then they also have, of course, the ghost hunting crews, right? The people who come out with all of their EKG meters. No, that's not what they're called. EMP. I don't know what they're called. Anyway, all of this stuff that they come out with to determine, like, is this haunted? And I think there was also like a vote. I'm pretty sure.
Gotta have a boat.
And all of Newfoundland was like, sorry?
Oh, you gotta have a boat, particularly a fan boat, I think, as well, right?
Right.
That's when you know you're part of a legit ghost hunting crew. If you have a fan, like those ones they use in travel in the swamps and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I know. I don't know. I'm just spitballing here. Anyway, go ahead.
Totally, yeah. And then all of Newfoundland was like, well, we don't want to be the most haunted place. Like, let's just make that Belle Island. Now, admittedly, what I wanted to ask y'all's opinion about is like, so they're deeply Catholic, deeply rural, right? They're close to the capital, but you can only get to the island by ferry. They had between 1895 and 1966, 5 mines that were in operation there, and 106 people died in those mines.
Okay.
And I do think that that's part of the haunted, right?
I would think so. It'd be weird if it wasn't. Right? Like, oh, yeah, we have a bunch of ghosts here unrelated to the 106th mining deaths that occurred.
I was sitting here pondering, like, in terms of, like, most haunted, are we talking about, like, the substantiveness of the haunting? Like, it's really haunted
now,
by
that's
one
good.
ghost?
Do the miners put on a show for you? Like, is it sort of, is there an entertainment element to this?
Or is the most haunted, like, statistically, the number of individual ghosts that are doing it?
Now you're onto something here. Yeah. How do we measure? It's kind of like, you read reviews for, like, the latest movies and stuff. Like, yeah, I'm a psychic. I went to Newfoundland and it was okay. I give it a 4 out of 5
well,
in terms of haunted.
It's most haunted.
I don't know.
Psychics today.
Although it's one of the things that I notice about places like that, places that are seen as like supernatural. We got a shitload of them in England, like because it's old, and we got a bunch of old shit just lying about.
Yeah.
Like castles older than countries, kind of thing. And I think it is sort of. I mean, and not to sort of pour water on the wonderful thing that what if ghosts are real. I'm very skeptical of their reality. But when you do walk into like a cemetery or something like that, because we're sort of culturally coached to see old buildings and cemeteries and places like that as spooky, as haunted, it's a psychosomatic thing. You spook yourself out. And also, when we're talking about death and like the passing, it's usually connected with either tragedy or just loss, sadness. So you don't want to be wacka wacka doo 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 doo, like spinning propeller hat, flipping vuvuzela in a cemetery or a spooky haunted house.
First of all, don't judge me. Okay? What if I do? That sounds like an amazing time. What are you talking about, Jamie?
Just walking into the middle of like the Aokigahara forest in Japan, one of the spookiest places in Japan. Just go, come at me, ghost!
Yeah.
That is the only way to do it. That is, you should do it.
I'm pretty sure that's a technique they've used on ghost hunters, where it's just like a white guy in like a tank top or whatever is in the middle of a basement. Is like, come on, come possess me. Like,
what's he gonna do? Just fucking headbutt a ghost? Like, stick to you.
That'd be awesome. I'd watch.
Committing to the bit. A
Yeah.
true professional.
Right.
do
That's
that.
yeah. I don't know, but you're making a good point there, Jamie. What do you think, Lucy?
I mean, yeah, I like how you put culturally coached. I think that makes a lot of sense. And I think you add on to this, already superstitious folk
Yeah.
who are isolated, who people don't understand their way of life, but they're also Catholic.
Right.
And I think that kind of must be an interesting mix. What do y'all think?
Well, I'll tell you this. A lot of people don't know this. I live in Waco. Right? No, I don't live in Waco now. I grew up in Waco, but that's not where my family's from. It's not where I'm born. I was born in New Orleans. Most of my family is in New Orleans, and most of my family is Catholic. And New Orleans is infamous for their ghost tours. They love it. It's all over the place. And they're very touristy and very, I wouldn't recommend you do one, just because most of it is like lies. And the stuff that like isn't lies, you would get from like a history museum or something anyway, right? But like, yeah, there is sort of a culture there of superstition, I would say. And it's part of it is just like marketing. Like, it's just, hey, you want to go to that place because it's haunted and it's kind of cool and it gets people to come out there. Like, I really genuinely think a lot of people underestimate how much of a market that is for people to go see that. Because you don't have to be a super heavy ghost hunter to just be like, oh, hey, a hotel that's haunted? Yeah, we should totally stay there. Yeah. Like, it's, it's just part of the thing.
Isn't there also, especially because it was part of the French colonies before it was sold in
Yeah,
I've learned so much more about American history and civics since I moved here. But anyway, isn't it very Catholic there as well?
Oh, the whole state's Catholic.
It's French Catholics getting in, having.
It's the most Catholic. Yeah, it's one of the most Catholic parts of the country.
But also they've got the Haitian, the voodoo, and all that kind of
right.
stuff. And I think that's part of it, that people can compartmentalize their faith and their belief and some of their other beliefs. It's why you get like very devout religious people who are also eminent scientists and don't let their faith get in the way of their research and that kind of stuff. Same thing, just with more woo.
Yeah.
And there's also the element of like the way that like spirits are depicted. There is a lot of like cultural and religious intersectionality to those things. Like if you look at the way ghosts and hauntings are depicted in, say, like Japan, where it's more they manifest as spirits that are different parts of nature or different parts of the environment, and that's the way.
Or just scary ghost girls that come out of your TV when you watch the VCR for.
Well, that happens too.
Days.
Sure, yeah. But just the way we symbolize these things is different across cultures, and it's not we mostly are associating ghosts now with like the Western tradition of it, but there's a lot of other depictions, whether it's jinns or other supernatural forces elsewhere in the world.
That's a great point. And as someone who recently went to Japan, they got way scarier stuff than whatever Americans have come up with. Like just in general, all the monsters and stuff. Yeah, I think what you're seeing, Lucy, is a combination of cultural superstitions, marketing. And a third thing that I can't think of. Mostly those two, I would say.
And if there's one group on this planet that know how to spin a buck on a faith-based thing, it's the Catholics.
Yeah, for sure.
Have you been to the Vatican? Have you seen the Sistine Chapel?
That's true. Maybe, I don't know what ghost properties do to property rates.
Can actually make them go down significantly.
I would imagine it could do that, but I imagine it could go up too as well.
I suppose it depends, but I heard that a place being reputedly haunted can bring its property value down by up to 20%. We should start spreading more ghost rumors around this town. Boy,
this is how we're going to bring down the
Yeah.
housing costs in Austin. I hear you.
That's a good idea. Lucy, you were going to say something.
Well, I mean, that is part of the reason why I think houses on Belle Island are so cheap right now.
That's gotta be it.
It was all a ploy. I understand.
What are some are there some like Joel Osteen's church we say is like haunted or something? I don't know. Maybe that's we don't actively target people. I'm just reporting on information I've heard. I heard that there was some minors that died around Joel Osteen. 109 of them.
An entire school bus worth of kids were all tragically lost just outside this nice 3-bed, 2-bath duplex in downtown with great access to the local
the children,
parks.
they yearned for the mines, and they just couldn't get them out.
So could I get a discount on this very haunted house, please?
Right.
We're changing this channel up.
I gotta tell you,
driving the housing prices down channel.
Yeah. What's that, Lucy?
I mean, after I went with my family, I can indeed confirm the children in my family do yearn for the mines.
Right.
Those kids were like over the places they weren't supposed to go. They were like plunging into that darkness. They were ready.
I love it. Yeah, that's 100% true. Well, Lucy, I really appreciate your call. Anything else you want to add before we let you go tonight?
You mentioned minors performing, and I just wanted to mention they do actually have a theater of the minds on Belle Island. And the idea is that these high school kids who are part of sort of an art internship program come over and they put on the plays as the ghosts.
No way. The children are actually minors? That's awesome. Oh, that's so cool. They yearn for the mines. It's full circle. I love it.
The name is true.
The miners are minors. Get it?
Get it here first, folks.
Fantastic. So funny.
Your end will not be swift and it will be brutal, Dan.
Let it be in a mine, of all things, please. Look like my ancestors. Bury me there. Lucy, thanks so much for your call. I hope you have a great rest of your weekend. And call again sometime. Tell me more about haunted places in Newfoundland, because that's definitely an area of knowledge I don't have expertise on.
No, pretty limited.
Yeah.